Yeah, good afternoon, students. Would like to discuss about a capital gain today. And here, the capital gains is any profit or gains arising from the transfer of a capital asset or sale of a capital asset. We are calling as a capital gain. And here, these capital gains are divided into two types. And these are one, the long-term capital gain. Another one is a short-term capital gain. So when we are calling as a long-term capital gain, any asset held by the assessee like buildings, okay, machinery, etc., which is having more than 3 years by an assessee, we are calling as a long-term capital gain. And if the assessee is having less than 3 years, such asset we are calling as the short-term capital gain. And here, these the conditions when we can say that we are calling as the capital gain. Number one, what are the conditions? The assessee should hold the capital asset, and during the previous year, he has to transfer such capital asset to someone, and he has to get the capital gain on a particular asset by selling such asset. And one more condition is it should not be having the deduction under section 54, 54B, 54D, 54EC, and 54F, 54Z, and 54ZA, and 54ZB. And these are the deductions. Then only we can say such asset is calling as a capital asset, and by selling on the asset, if they got any capital gain, we are calling as the capital gain on particular asset, we are calling as a capital gain. And when we can call as a capital asset, so here any kind of property, whether fixed or circulating, or either it may be a tangible or an intangible or movable or immovable properties, such we are calling as a capital assets. And here there are some conditions which we can call as a capital asset and which you cannot call as a capital asset also. So here there are some personal effects which we cannot treat it as a capital asset, like the asset which we are using by the family members. For example, furniture, TV, refrigerator, motor, and scooters, etc., which they are going to use by every family member, but we cannot treat as a capital asset. And there are some notes. The term with personal effects does not include the archaeological collections like paintings, sculptures, and etc., even though we are treating as a capital asset. And here, an exception to the above rule, the jewelry and ornaments made of the gold or silver or platinum, these the worship or deities, we are not calling as a personal use. And when we are calling as the tangible financial assets. So here, the types of capital assets. So just now we discussed about a capital asset, and the capital assets are divided into tangible asset and intangible asset. When we are calling as a tangible asset, which we can see and we can touch the asset, and such we are calling as the tangible asset. And intangible assets means which we cannot touch and we cannot see particular asset, which we are calling as an intangible assets. Again, the tangible assets are divided into two types. What are they? Non-financial assets and the financial assets. So here, the intangible assets are divided into self-generated assets and assets purchased for a particular price. So here, the tangible financial assets, these are the examples, like we are calling as a land, building, ornaments, jewelry made of silver and gold, and we are calling as the tangible financial assets. And these are the assets which the assessee is having more than 3 years, we are calling as the long-term capital assets. If they are having or holding in their hands less than 3 years, we are calling as short-term capital assets. And intangible assets, and these are we cannot touch and we cannot see particular assets, and such we are calling here like tenancy rights, manufacturing a right for a business, and trademarks and brand names associated with a business. Such we are calling intangible assets. Again, we are having just now discussed the self-generated assets like these are the brand names. And next we have to discuss about here the cost of acquisition. So here the cost of acquisition means the expenditure with the particular cost of an asset. For example, if you purchased a computer for 50,000 and you incurred for the installation charges 5,000, then we can call as the total cost of an asset this 50,000 plus 5,000. Together we are calling as 55,000 as the cost of asset. It means that we are going to add the installation charges or particular cost to purchase a particular asset that we can call as the complete total cost of an asset. So here this cost and constructed of the manufacturing the assets and expenditure incurred to be cost of acquisition. And here, when we are calculating the cost of acquisition, if any asset is purchased prior 1/4/2001 or before 1/4/2001, we have to compare with the fair market value. The actual cost will be compared with the FMV, fair market value. Whichever is higher will be considered as a capital asset. And here the benefit is not going to be allowed to the depreciable assets, like which we are going to use for a business purpose, like buildings or machinery. And next, indexed cost of acquisition. So here the indexed cost of acquisition means the increased cost by the actual price. It means that the cost of an asset is going to be multiplied with the indexes, which is given by the income tax department, which is revised by 2001. And that cost is going to be multiplied with these index numbers, and then we are calling as the indexed cost of acquisition. And this benefit is going to be permitted for the cost of improvement also. We have to make the indexation, and this is going to be done in the case of long-term capital assets only, not for the short-term capital assets. So indexed cost of acquisition, if the assets purchased for a particular price on or before 1/4/2001, we are going to calculate the indexed cost of acquisition is the cost of asset into previous year index divided by base year index. Once again, listen this point. If any asset is purchased prior 1/4/2001, to calculate the indexed cost of acquisition, cost of asset into previous year index divided by base year index. If any asset is purchased after 1/4/2001, if any asset is purchased after 1/4/2001, we are going to consider the indexed cost of acquisition is cost of asset into previous year index divided by purchase year index. And these indexes are going to given in the problem. According to that problem, we have to consider these indexes. Once again, remember, if the asset is purchased prior or before 1/4/2001, we need to use the base index as applicable. If asset is purchased after 1/4/2001, you need to use the purchase index while calculating the capital gain to calculate indexed cost of acquisition. And next we are going to learn here the cost of improvement. So here the cost of improvement means any addition to made to the cost or improve the cost. What are the expenditure and incurred to an addition to a capital asset? Such we are calling as improvement cost. And to calculate indexed cost of improvement, we are going to calculate improvement cost into previous year index divided by improvement year index. Here very important point is, if any cost of improvement given, the asset is purchased here or the improvement cost is given prior 1/4/2001, the cost is given prior 1/4/2001, we cannot consider the cost of improvement. There the cost of improvement will be treated as nil. Once again remember, if any problem, the cost of improvement is given on or before 1/4/2001, the cost of improvement will be nil. Now, these are the live class going to the principal ma'am, and Venkatesh sir is going to observe each and every class. Don't make such annotations on the documents. Listen carefully. This is the third time I am revising your syllabus. Already we have discussed each and every sum in your class. 2 times the revision is over. This is the third time of this chapter. Please be careful. So here the cost of improvement for before 1/4/2001. The cost of improvement cannot be considered. And the after 1/4/2001, if he gives the cost of improvement, we have to take the formula as the improvement cost into previous year index divided by improvement year index. So here such, once again listen here, the cost of improvement, if he gives on or before 1/4/2001, the improvement cost is given for a particular asset in any sum before 1/4/2001, we cannot consider. Means that there is no cost of improvement for particular asset if it is given 1/4/2001. The cost of improvement cost is incurred before 1/4/2001. If any improvement is cost is made after 1/4/2001, it means that they are added, suppose a building is there, they added one more floor to that building, and such cost we are calling as improvement cost. If they make after 1/4/2001, so we have to make the cost of improvement into previous year index divided by improvement year index. This we have to use the formula, and you have to substitute in the format. And now we'll see how to calculate the capital gain. So here the computation of Mr. X income from the capital gain for the assessment year 2019 to 2020. And here we have to write the format like this. First we are going to write the consideration received. So by selling the asset, how much amount is going to receive, such we are calling here the consideration received or transfer of a capital asset. And next we are going to deduct the transfer expenses, and the transfer expenses is also called as the sales expenses, and such expenses will be subtracted from the consideration received. Then you are going to get net consideration received. So then you have to make indexed cost of acquisition. Once again remember, just now explained here, while calculating the indexed cost of acquisition, if the asset is purchased prior 1/4/2001, you have to consider as the formula cost of asset into previous year index divided by base year index. If the asset is purchased after 1/4/2001, you need to take the cost of asset into previous year index divided by purchase year index. In some problems, they are going to mention the FMV value. So whenever they give the FMV value, we have to compare with the cost. Whichever is higher, we can consider as a cost. Then you have to apply the formula. And next, see here, after the transfer expenses, you are going to get the net consideration by deducting the indexed cost of acquisition. If any sum, if they are given the indexed cost of improvement, that we are going to use the formula. Again, the remember here, if the improvement cost is given prior 1/4/2001, there is no cost of improvement. If the cost of improvement is given after 1/4/2001, you need to use the formula. What is the formula just now I said? That is the cost improvement cost into previous year index divided by improvement year index. After calculating that amount, we are going to substitute in the formula. Then you are getting the capital gain. In some sums, they are going to give the deductions. And these deductions we are calculating under section 54. So those are 54B, 54D, 54EC, 54F, 54Z, and 54GA, and 54GB. If any sum has given these deductions, we have to deduct. Then you are getting the so these are we are calculating the taxable income from capital gain. And see your textbooks, the question number, what he has given. Sri Sai Chand purchased the gold ornaments for 2,05,000 the financial year 2001 to 2. During the previous year, he sold the ornaments for rupees 10 lakhs, and the transfer expenses he has given in the question is 45,000, and then the cost inflation index is the year to purchase was 100, and in the year the sale is 280. Calculate income from capital gain. So here the cost of consideration or by sales, how much he got? 10 lakhs he got. So here the consideration received will become here 10 lakhs. And he said here transfer expenses. In some sums he is going to say sale expenses also. So these are going to be deducted. And by deducting this 45,000, how much you are going to get? 9,55,000. From the 10 lakhs, deduct the 45,000. Then you are going to get 9,55,000. And then he has given the cost of inflation index is to at purchase was 100, and he has given a sale is 280 in the question. So then you need to find the indexed cost of acquisition. So just now I said indexed cost of acquisition. What is the formula? Cost of asset into previous year index divided by purchase year index. So here he has purchased with 2,05,000 multiplied with 280 divided by 100. Then you are getting 5,74,000. Once again listen here, 10 lakhs minus 45,000, you are going to get 9,55,000. Then the indexed cost of acquisition, you are getting 5,74,000. So by deducting that, you are going to get income from capital gain as 3,81,000. Check it once with your notes, which already I explained in the college. And see the second question. Mr. Y.N. Charan sold his residential house for rupees 26 lakhs 50,000 on 10th August 2018, and the cost inflation index is given here 280, and which he has purchased 5th November 1988 for rupees 1,02,000, and the fair market value on 1/4/2001 he has given 8 lakhs. If the selling expenses are 2%, and compute the income from capital gain and tax liability if the income from other heads is nil. So here, whenever it has given the 2%, so where you are going to calculate this sales expense, and this will be calculated under the sale price. What is the sale price he has given? On particular price, you need to calculate the selling expenses. So here the consideration received will become what he has given, sold the house 26 lakhs 50,000. So consideration received will become here 26 lakhs 50,000. And from that you have to deduct the 2% that will become here 53,000. And by deducting that, you are going to get 25 lakhs 97,000 as the consideration received. So such we are calling here net consideration. And from that, you have to deduct indexed cost of acquisition. So how you are going to deduct the index cost of acquisition? So here, what is the cost he has given? FMB value as 8 lakhs into 280 divided by purchase here he has given 100. You have to take base index. So then you are going to get 22 lakhs 40,000. Then you are getting the income from capital gain as 3 lakh 57,000. And remaining problems we will discuss in the next class. Now give your attendance.